What the flip is up with misleading advertising? Let me give you an example of what to look for coming up next on What the Flip. So, I noticed an ad with a stoic woman warning against Congress setting caps on the hospitals and doctors and what they can charge. What is so egregious about this ad is their use of a video saying that if it happens, your emergency room responders will enter a hospital that's been abandoned and no longer exists, inferring that if caps are established, that hospitals and doctors will not be able to afford to stay in business and will leave the business. What the flip is up with this scare tactic? First, let me say, and I don't know this for sure, but it is a good guess. Most people in America have no idea how the payment of medical expenses transpire between doctors, hospitals, and insurance companies. I know I didn't, but recently I asked and basically was stonewalled. What is for sure is a huge surprise when you visit an in-network hospital emergency room but receive a surprisingly huge doctor bill from the doctor who treated you in that in-network hospital but is not an in-network doctor. So they bill you separately for the out-of-network price. Surprise! Of course, you were laying on a table in pain and they visit you. When they visit you, they don't say, "Hey, I'm a doctor on call this evening, but I am an out-of-network doctor, so your bill will be 5 times higher than you think. And by the way, I'm the only doctor here at 2 a.m." On top of this, you hurt so bad, you really just want the pain to go away. So you wouldn't probably remember their disclosure or anything you signed anyway. This bill they are urging your congressional representatives to vote against would set limits on what that doctor could charge in the circumstances above. That's what this bill is about. They don't want you to do this, or this particular ad doesn't want you to, and the group that paid for it doesn't want you to. Now let me help you understand more information that should cause you to pause before you say these people are protecting me. I had this situation. I'm on Medicare. I have a Medicare Advantage plan, a good one. When I received a bill like the one described above, I contacted my insurance company and they negotiated it down to what the insurance company would pay. When I asked why the doctor negotiated, the insurance rep, who probably shouldn't have told me what they did, said the doctor took it because they knew the amount was guaranteed to be paid. And that's their basic answer, so to speak, to me about why doctors negotiate lower prices. So doctors aren't necessarily getting that initial charge in nearly all the cases they deal with in Medicare, which is a good, really good piece of information to have when you decide whether you want to vote for somebody who is a Medicare for all, because you would have none of these problems under that plan. So $1,500 bill was negotiated down to $400, and that's what the insurance company paid. The bill they oppose protects patients. It isn't going to hurt them. Secondly, this scare tactic is not true. Obviously, this doctor didn't just go out of business. They took the $400. Why? Because they spent less than 5 minutes with me and referred me to another hospital because a surgeon was available at that hospital. It wasn't at the one she was in. You can do the calculation for $100 divided by 5 minutes. Consider this. Doctors spend 7 years of their life training to become a doctor. I'm sure their student loan debt is in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. They are not going to give up a job with that kind of earning, even if it's not what they wanted for the visit. What would they do? Nearly every other country where they might want to live has a Medicare for all type plan. Where would they go? The same is true for hospitals. They may close down rural hospitals, but they're doing that without this bill. The problem is we have healthcare in this country run as a capitalistic business. That means businesses are making decisions based on profit versus life. Obviously, businesses opt for profit versus life because they don't know one patient from another patient. So they really don't care, at least as much as they say they do. Now, having said all this, it's not all doctors or hospital groups who believe this way. I believe most medical staff, to include doctors, would love to give the best care possible. It is when greed overcomes their Hippocratic Oath values where the problem arises. For large conglomerate hospital groups or doctors who form groups focused on making money versus delivering quality health care is where the problem originates. On top of this, there's secondary and tertiary businesses that are impacted, and they make large sums of money. What would they do? Where would they go? If you dig deeper into the sponsors of ads, you will find some troubling information about who sponsors these ads. In this case, there are downright misleading intentions about protecting patients. They are concerned about maximizing shareholder value and electing political officials that support their business. It just happens to be in the medical field. In a highly capitalistic society, take care when watching any ads. The vast majority of time, they're misleading, and they're not concerned about you. They just want your money. For What the Flip, I'm Vic Vogel. Until next time, investigate ads and stay alert. As usual, all opinions are mine and don't represent any other third parties.